The scientific dictatorships of the future, and I think they're going to be scientific dictatorships in many ways.
You're gonna have to turn your television off if you really wanna know what's going on. But it ever pleases, the great harlot has become drunk with the blood of the martyrs of Jesus. Burnt offerings got you altering your thesis. Trauma-based mind control, keep you chasing golden fleeces. Don't let them snatch you out your wagon. To escape, you'll need a chariot drawn by fire-breathing dragons. To see the big picture, you simply must imagine the horror of Babylon in a Miss America pageant. Smirking at you fervently, with a certainty, giggling at the goyim, secretly calling them serpent seed. Cursedly, gazing upon every man, breathing so eager to ban freedom, reading from the Sanhedrin. Guarding the world's fifth largest arsenal. 400 warheads unofficially, you can't see them. Hell-bent to conquer a land that's stolen. They created a monster, now they can't control them. They go them. You would have to stretch your imagination. Blood profiteers have taken over your nation. Can you imagine a world where no one suffers? It's more difficult than ever before. If they had their way tomorrow, they'd make it against the law.
You don't know the laws until you read the protocols. Manufacture the golem, but first the Holocaust. A 16th century mystic, know the cause. Kabbalistic as Isaac, salvage from the Zohar. A savage who likes the bullshit on Sabbath. In it with witches, just to worship the planet Saturn. Talmudic euthanizer, shoot the two-timer. A Rothschild shield, a name change, new attire. Judeans conspiracy through the fire. Luke don't bite his tongue, he puts it through the wire. Literally atomic bite like Dracula. Finance from Kimberly diamond mines in Africa. It's a nuclear day, but the troops in the way. Stronghold molded from nuclear clay, the golem. Solely built to kill the goyim, deployed them. Holy shit, how you destroy them? Can you imagine a world where no one suffered from?
You would have to stretch your imagination. Blood profiteers have taken over your nation.
Can you imagine a world where no one suffered from?
It's more difficult than ever before. If they had their way tomorrow, they'd make it against the law.
Manufacture the Take the dust and make it into a shapeless husk. Sculpt the form with a naked bust and bake the crust. Now they must place trust into the sacred figurine. With rigor they can rig a scene and dominate the big machine. Disguising blatant lust for war as prophecy, but the prophets that guide them all are what they see. Hypocrisy, stopping the peace rally and claim to offer peace. Then ride the golem beast into the belly of the office feast. Aim shots at doctor, priest and politician. To replace deceased or on a mission. Above the law, beyond protest, behind a statuette. The world held hostage, no escape, a blind attack or threat. Exploiting states of fear to stage a crisis. They're the child of Al Amin Ra and Lady Isis. Decipher red heifer, now the clue is near. It won't get better, it's new and clear, it's nuclear. Smothered in corruption and professional denialism. Enemy of the free world.
Your imagination. Blood profiteers have taken over your nation.
Can you imagine a world where no one suffers?
It's more difficult than ever before. If they had their way tomorrow, they'd make it against the law.
We got catching tunes from Russia. But we'll get back to that. We'll end the Fed later. But I just thought this was freaking amazing. Nathan just covered basically the same thing we've been doing for years. They take their measurements in the air. It's really weird. That's kind of why I named what it is. He covered a girl who says the Suez Canal is proof of a globe, I think. But it's all in how they do it. It's weird. We'll take a listen to Nathan reviewing this right quick. And I'm heading over to the library here in the next 30 minutes so I can get me some paperwork. Yeah, I got to get to work too. And I just thought I'd found this interesting. It's Nathan covering another video. Enjoy, guys. All right, let me share it with you. How's everybody doing today? Heron, pushing, Ryan, and Lord Racer is first in. And I get a chance to Kiwi's doing a Professor Bell review. So I think I might want to start, give you like 15 minutes of this. So they're reviewing a flat Earth video. She is saying that it proves a globe somehow. Here we go. I'm eating Milano cookies. They're pretty good. These are worldwide debates. Shout out to Nathan Oakley. Terran Glober's a new asshole for 10 years. And just because it's not popular doesn't make it's not true. Just use common sense. Oh, look, Bev's in there. I think Elder Bear's in there too. Let's take it back a little bit further. We got to find a good starting spot. But she gets into the tangent measurements of a globe Earth. After you look at the Suez Canal and the distance of the horizontal linear measurements you already have. You can see the look on her face. She's in pain. It's called cognitive dissonance. We'll start after she starts reviewing that video. I think it's right about here. Right. I'm glad, Nathan, you're doing what you're doing.
Proved the Earth was flat.
No, it was measured flat in linear kilometers. That's how you ascribed the value. Maybe you'd like to tell me how kilometers aren't a linear distance measurement used in surveying to describe vertical deviations in a Cartesian system. Oh, no, they are definitely flat, horizontal, linear miles or kilometers.
I agree with you, bro.
As measured on Earth's flat surface for them to be flat miles or kilometers. So it's not like it needs proving. It's been measured. It's demonstrably, factually linear and horizontal. Otherwise, what are we going to use this value for? If it's deviating, we'd need to know how much it was deviating. Ergo, we'd need a horizontal value. And we've already got one. It's been given in kilometers and miles.
It would mean generations of engineers, physicists, and navigators.
Sorry, physicists. Sorry, physicists are coping with the physics.
How many physicists are helping build the Suez Canal? I don't think one of them. And those astrophysicists, they don't even deal with reality. But go on.
Physical and natural world. That's what physics means. The physical and natural world, adjudicated by science and the scientific method. This is a freaking canal. You said yourself man-made. That's synthetic. You're not going to figure out the cause of a natural phenomena with a synthetic
I'm out of drink.
building project, are you? Because it's man that made it. You know what caused it already. A man making it. This is not natural. This is not the purview of physics, the study of the physical and natural world. That's science, the scientific method. That's not this. It's just building a canal. But you'd have to measure Earth to build it. Flat, with linear distance measurements.
All missed something very obvious. And I just want to let you know, they didn't. So the first major claim they make in the video is the canal is straight, therefore the Earth is flat.
This is, honestly, the best proof that the Earth is flat.
I mean, I don't know. The same thing applies to the idiot that's making the flat Earth video, that's appealing to how little drop over distance there is. The distance is a measurement of Earth, and it's flat already. So it's taking a flat Earth measurement, ignoring how flat it is, and then saying that the distance...
No, I've looked into it, and the levels from sea to sea are almost identical. It's like a few feet from one to the other, and that's because of the Nile. But the horizontal level across the Suez Canal is pretty much the same. There's no real deviation to the horizontal, the one we took on the ground. But we're going to go to space in a minute.
It shows how little drop there is. Okay.
Probably.
This is redundant. You've already got a measurement. You don't need any of it to prove the flat Earth with it. It's already been measured and it's flat already. Why are you trying to turn a measurement into a logical consistency? Would be my...
Okay, so yeah, he's critiquing the flat earther because he's making a logical consistency to try to reach people. But I understand why he's frustrated with it, because you have to constantly have to bring logic back into it. But you can look at that girl's eyes, Brian. She's lost, dude. Look at her face next time you look. Just watch her expressions. She's trying to put this together and hoping that she's right. But they're taking a linear distance to space. That's literally what they're doing. But it's not there. There's not that much drop. Let's put it that way. When you get to the horizon, the further out you go. Yeah. The horizon's still flat. Strange.
Question to the Flurf.
Suez Canal.
Shout out to... who's that that's giving me a super chat?
LJ.
LJ69. NASA is just adult versions of Disneyland. NASA is just the adult version of Disneyland. Thank you very much for the super chat, LJ69. Really appreciate the support.
Where's the tough guy out of there? He left?
No, he said you can mute me if we move into a different room, and then without being asked, I was just immediately moved into a different room. So then when he continued to rumpus the living daylights out of me by incessantly talking with verbal diarrhea, after cucking for Omnivore, who suggested that we were Earth-centered, Earth-fixed, and defending Omnivore's honour.
Hey, Ryan, how's it going?
What's up? Sorry about that. I lost signal.
Did you lose signal? Huh. Just reviewing this this girl that Nathan critiqued, and just basically shows how they pre-assume their ball again. They don't take measurements to the center of the earth. They take measurements out into nowhere. And it's barely anything to talk of. But, yeah, it's the same tangent line they draw to a point on the earth. It's the same globe math that they've been doing for years. I just haven't seen this girl before. I thought she was interesting. You get a look at her face and her expressions and stuff. Brian's over. She says he's soulless. I think he might be right, but I think she's really lost. You can tell she's cognitively hurting, trying to conflate two worlds into one. They don't even really reference the Earth itself when they take these tangents too. They stay away from it. They don't take the surface level at all. Anyways. How's your day been? That's good to hear. Mine's been pretty good too. I'm going to go to the library when I get done doing this little stream and pick up some paperwork so I can do a trademark. That's going to be fun. Wish me luck. Anyways, let me get back to the video.
12 times I asked him, are we measuring from Earth in the centre? And Edabert cucked for him 12 times and then told me that I didn't know anything, and then tried to get me to justify a radial value that Earth believers that are spherical have. He tried to put that on me about 6 or 7 times through the top of me asking him about north that he said I was trapped in. So then when I tried to respond to north and how that's a flat Earth measurement, again, verbal diarrhea. So eventually I shut him up, as I was told specifically by him that that was what I was given the opportunity to do by being moved into a room where I have control of the room. I'm like, okay, if I've got control of the room, Edabear won't be talking anymore through the top of me. Bye-bye. So Edabear was shut up on account of the fact that he couldn't cope with talking to me in a reasonable manner, had to have verbal diarrhea and just incessantly tell me that I was wrong about being Earth-centred when I simply asked the question, having had it put to me, are we Earth-centred? 12 times to Omnivore, 15 times in total. We're not.
He's fine, dude.
I called them a bunch of spastics, end quote me, as a result of their delusion that they were Earth-centred, in the middle of a ball somehow measuring. No, we're definitely not. And I called them all idiots as a result of this suggestion that was put to me, like we'd have a load of fun talking about it, right up until the immediate reply, the first words out of my lips, which confirmed, are we ECEF, Earth-centred, Earth-fixed? All I did was ask, is that what we are? 12 times. Fun, fun, fun.
It's 100.
Do you understand what Earth-centered and Earth-fixed is? What they're actually inferring, that they're measuring from the center of a presupposed sphere that they've never been to the center of. This is all pre-assumed, not measured. That's the reference. It's a reference for the radius value, which is actually done linearly too. It's actually, it can't bend to get the radii of it. They have to take it from a 360-degree point from the presupposed sphere. That's where they derive their longitude lines from. But in reality, the longitude lines are measured to the surface of the Earth, on the surface of the Earth, from a point called Polaris, which radiates out from the center of the north. But they infer in the vertical the other measurement from the presupposed center of the Earth. That's why they have to stop at the equator, and they had to start over again supposedly in the south with those same horizontal measurements. But horizontally, they're measured out from that point. That's why that's how they infer sphericity. It's created, it's not measured. The real measurements are done in the horizontal. The presupposed part comes from the vertical. But it's not Euclidean geometry. They had to create a geometry that actually would work for them. It doesn't really exactly work. That's why everything's distorted in the further you get away from the north, because the north is the true direction. It's convoluted, but they did a lot of gymnastics. But if you actually just take an angle, that's why they have these tangents. They take an angle to each tangent coming from the center of this presupposed sphere that we've never been to. Everything's done linearly, horizontally. All the measurements are. And we can show this. Their values they give you, and the only way they can finagle it in, I think, is with the oceans and their nautical miles. They're not consistent, so that's where they fudge the numbers. Anyways, back to Nathan.
193 kilometers long. There are no locks, no pumps, no elevation changes.
Elevation changes would be described from the distance measurement that's flat, though. Elevation changes a drop in the vertical with respect to the horizontal distance. So there's a level of redundancy in this claim being made by the flat earther. Right, there's no drop. Oh, right, why there's no drop? You mean there's no Earth curve? Well, if there was, it would be measured with respect to that linear distance that's only capable of being acquired from a flat Earth that you've completely ignored to talk about a dam or a lock or whatever it is that you're going to ascribe some logical consistency to, like a distant mountain or something of that shitty nature that nobody needs when we've already measured Earth. Why are we looking at mountains to suggest we've got an Earth? Well, we're looking at 250 miles. So we're looking at a flat Earth measurement of a flat Earth distance. Oh, that's it then. That's the end of the discussion. We've measured Earth. We've got 250 flat miles measured. Linear, horizontal. And if there's drop, it'll be described with respect to that flat Earth measurement. So there is no discussion. This is completely redundant. It's surplus to requirement. Just name any distance on any map that's been measured by surveyors. They're all flat and horizontal without exception. End of discussion. Earth's measured flat
Yeah, LJ,
for linear distances in the horizontal.
But it's Nathan, man.
Just a straight channel of water cut right through the Egyptian desert, connecting the Mediterranean Sea to the Red Sea.
So this sounds logical
We saw your
until you
super chat.
realize what's straight.
Sorry, sounds logical. Dumbo, this isn't logic. He's got measurements of distances, and they are horizontal linear distances. He also said there'd be drop, what with respect to the horizontal measurement of flat Earth distances. So there's, what's the word? Measurements, then. What does this Dumbo say? That seems logical.
President
Sorry, you seem to be in a category error where you mistake logic for measurements. No, it's not going to be formed into a logical consistency. It's a measurement of Earth's flat surface in the horizontal for the values that you're all ignoring. Like, I know, if we just measure this distance flat and linear, and then completely ignore how flat and linear this distance is, we can suggest that there should or shouldn't be Earth curve in a logical consistency after ignoring an actual measurement of Earth. We don't need a logical consistency, thanks, love. I'll rely on the measurements you're relying on, and the Flat Earth ignoramus is relying on when he whistles past them.
Actually means a straight line just means no horizontal deviation.
Oh, flat, you mean?
So when we've got a mile measurement, we've got no horizontal deviation. Yeah, that's the end of the discussion then. If we've acquired from Earth's surface a mile measurement with no horizontal deviation,
Now,
then that's what we've got.
here's where we add the deviation with a tangent point that dips into Earth. Oh, God. Ignoring all the horizontal distances that we've measured so far. Here we go.
Yeah, that's what a mile or a kilometre is in this particular instance. Now, if we do have vertical deviation from that axiomatically horizontal line in miles or kilometres, then surveys will measure topographical deviations in the vertical. But that means that by axiomatic requirement, these miles or kilometres must be flat Earth miles or kilometre measurements. Or we couldn't describe axiomatically the vertical axis deviation from them. So back to my
I
original...
think it's Flat Earth Library. You can find him on X. He's got a YouTube channel too, LJ. So, Ryan, what do you think so far? Are you with me still?
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah. You were
hear me?
laughing, weren't you? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm laughing. You know, sometimes whenever I'm trying to explain the truth about the Earth being flat, it's really hard to like stay in that channel of just talking about what you actually see and what you can actually, you know, argue. Whereas when you're in an argument with some normal person, normally there's this back argument going on where they're trying to tell you that you're crazy, or there's always something going on that distracts you from actually just saying what the truth is, right?
Yeah. Well, yeah. It's like they don't want you to pay attention to the actual measurements to start with. They want to take you off on a tangent. That's what she's going to do. But I mean, distraction is the best way to get people off topic. You know, if you don't have it in the horizontal, you don't have it in the vertical. She'll infer this in a minute by using a tangent and not even taking the dip correction. They take the dip correction too far. You have to average it over distance. So you'll hear what she does with the mathematics in a minute. Nathan will call her out on it. But I mean, after you get to 120 miles worth of linear distance without any drop, there is the curvature. The rate of curvature isn't what's subscribed to their sphere. So that's what QE's been trying to do for years. What Nathan is just tired of is like, what about those measurements? Do they bend? They don't. Any radius measurements that they infer don't bend neither. They have to be linear to get their radius values. But that you can change those, and we showed that yesterday with Captain Gunn's celestial navigation diagram he drew out for you. And those are actually, you can do that in reality over that very large distances. There's no drop in the vertical. That's the whole point. There should be tons of drop in the vertical. There's not. but they use that. But I think Nathan does a good job of explaining it. Here, let's listen to what he says.
No point. Without this measurement from a flat Earth, there's nothing else we can do. We can't describe anything with respect to the miles or the kilometres unless they are horizontal flat Earth linear distance measurements. And they are. They're required to be. End of discussion.
It says nothing about vertical curvature.
So vertical curvature would be described with respect to the horizontal linear distance measurement. That's hills. We've definitely measured hills, my love. Yeah, surveyors have got quite a good handle on how much Earth curves in the vertical with respect to the horizontal linear distances. We've only got...
What'd you say, Ron?
I said linear literally is talking about a line, right?
Yeah, it doesn't... It's not shape.
Roger, look up what a line is and tell me what it says on that.
Yeah.
It says that it's a straight thing, right? It's not curved in any way.
Yeah, linear is not respect to shape. I mean, it's just the distance. Yeah. And that's where they play with it.
A flat Earth to measure to acquire. So we've got a flat Earth to acquire these horizontal distance measurements so we can decide whether or not it's worthy of surveying the distances in the vertical, deviating from it. We'd need horizontal distances then, wouldn't we? Yeah, we would. I'm just going to be repeating quite a lot throughout this session because it seems like no matter how many times it's shoved under this chick's nose, she's not recognising how horizontal and linear distance measurements that she's appealing to not having any vertical deviation have got. Okay, we still need them to be flat Earth linear distance measurements.
If you draw a line across a globe...
Sorry, if you draw a line across a globe. Sorry, who's doing that? Nobody's drawn a line across.
So you got to have a globe to draw a line across to start with.
If it's linear, then it's described as a line. So that it goes without saying, right?
Yeah, I know. But see, they're already pre-assuming the same thing they measure from the center of. Next, you'll see, and they don't touch the ground. They don't make an actual measurement. So you'll get it in a minute. That's kind of like the name of the stream.
The globe, we've got horizontal linear distance measurements. You're now talking in contradictions. Who is that from G+? Go ahead.
Eli, can you guys hear me clearly? I have a new mic.
That's all right.
All right.
About time, Eli.
So I just wanted to read this out. As the crow flies is an idiom that means the shortest, most direct straight line distance between 2 points. It gets the name from the observation that birds, including crows, I don't know why they would say that, fly in a straight line towards their destination without being restricted by ground obstacles like rivers, mountains, or roads. People use this phrase to contrast direct air distance with the actual distance you would need to travel on foot, by car, or a winding train. I say that to say that's all obviously with respect to a horizontal plane. It isn't, the curving, hills and valleys plus the curvature of the earth. There's no such thing as the curvature of the earth.
Exactly. If there was curvature, then that would be a deviation in the vertical that would be described with respect to the horizontal. That's what curve or hills is. But that's not how Earth gets measured. As just described quite eloquently by Eli, we have horizontal linear distance measurements, or to put it in another turn of phrase, as the crow flies, or as the parakeet flies, or as the stork flies. I don't know why they use a crow either.
That line is still straight, but it follows the curve of the surface.
No, you see, that's where you've got an axiomatic violation, because it can't be a horizontal distance to describe vertical deviation with if it's already curving. The curve would also need a horizontal linear distance.
This is where I take issue with Bev, because he knows the reference, the vertical reference versus the horizontal reference. They ignore those. That's why they use tangents. There are deviations, slight ones, but it's not enough to infer Earth curve. You have to go back and reference the other point at the horizontal and the vertical. You wouldn't be able to get a tangent to that. But here we go. Mathematics. Maths, as they call it. And they're using the globe as a reference. But it doesn't match the globe. That's why you get black swans. Tons of them. They're hoping that, refraction works for them too.
Describe it curving from. So what you're doing is bending an axiomatic principle of horizontality that drop would be described with respect to. Or to put it another way, that's a contradiction in terms, my love. Or, let's put it a little less kindly, a fucking retarded nonsense spewed by a moron. That'd be you, love. A dimwit, a spastic, a moron, a vapid fool. To suggest that straight horizontal linear distances bend. No, we'd need to know how much the deviation was with respect to, so we'd need horizontal distances to describe how curved they were. We do. We survey hills. That's a drop in the vertical with respect to the horizontal distance that can only be horizontal. So now you're starting to piss me off. You're appealing to these horizontal linear distances, not noting how horizontal and linear they are, and now you're making them non-linear? Idiot! They can't be horizontal if they're non-linear and bending. If they were non-linear, you'd need to know how curvy they were by describing their deviation from a horizontal plane of reference to describe that curve with. And if you violate the axiom of mile or kilometre measurement, how are you going to describe the curve? You can't! Making this woman a dimwit. I'm not talking slow. You're just retarded. You are held back mentally if you violate your own axiomatic horizontal linear distance.
So they throw away the idea that mean sea level is a horizontal. They go above it. Okay. Yeah, that's the reference, though. But anyways, I digress.
Obviously, you're an idiot.
This is called a geodesic.
No, a geodesic's describing an actual measurement with respect to a curve that you definitely have. Now, when you measure Earth non-locally with geodesics, you're going to rely on actual surveyors doing actual principles that rely also on horizontality, and they use linear distances that are locally measured. What, like your value for the canal? Yeah, that would definitely be surveyed locally with horizontal axioms intact. That's what you've appealed to. You haven't appealed to it.
They have to throw away the mean sea level datums to actually make this work. Their datums are a different reference point, but they infer sphericity in those datums to make their references, but they're not usable. They even say this, but they want to apply them to what they call satellites. That's their excuse. Why would you need a datum for a satellite?
Even because you have to answer to your shareholders, Roger.
Okay. Oh, so I mean, let's say there are these imaginary satellites, floating above us in the air, falling around this geodesic that they pre-assume. Where are they? Just asking that question. Anybody got any of them? I don't think they do. I don't think they exist. So I don't get it. I don't understand why all this work for what. I mean, we're referencing the Earth to start with.
With a man, I think it's normally to win an argument, isn't it? Like when you make your biggest mistakes, isn't it? When you're trying to win an argument that you don't like someone else when they're telling you what's true and what's not, and you don't like it, so you go off on some kind of rant. Or I do it all the time, right?
I'm just wondering what practical purpose that any of this has in reality. But
well, it's a distraction for all of us because that's what they want us to believe, some bullshit.
I hope so. Yeah, I don't see any truth in it yet. I haven't in 12 years, so I haven't seen any practical uses for anything. And we still navigate the same way we have before. It hasn't changed anything. Okay. But I mean, she'll describe what she's talking about here in a second.
Geodesic measurement. There aren't any. Nobody's measuring non-locally. Idiot.
The shortest path between 2 points on a curved surface.
Oh, right. So we haven't got that. We've got a horizontal linear distance to describe drop with respect to. So we definitely don't have this. You've pulled it out of your ass.
And that's exactly what large-scale engineering projects use.
What, like non-local? No, they don't. They measure things locally with linear distances and drop with respect to it. It's called rise over run. Nobody's measuring non-locally with geodesics. That's garbage and nonsense. There are no non-local measurements ever. You apply this after the fact.
So yes, the canal is straight, but it's straight on a curved Earth.
That is what I would call bollocks, you utter spastic. No, you're describing an axiomatic violation, otherwise known as a contradiction in terms. What a load of stupid shite. Total nonsense. No, your horizontal distance is linear. If it wasn't, you wouldn't be able to describe drop with respect to it. And we survey hills with rise over run, not geodesics on a non-local scale. That's what's given to retards, so they can axiomatically violate straight line distance principles when they suggest that we've measured this because it's big. No, you're not going to get non-local measurements. Everything's been measured planar for the linear distances we've already got ascribed to it. Obviously, this chick's never seen a map scale.
Massive container vessels, oil tankers, warships, you name it. And here is the number that, well, stopped me cold the first time I encountered it.
Cold. So dramatic.
According to the globe model, over a distance of 190...
So, according to the globe model will be describing drop over distance. That's how that model's derived, and it has a radial value also acquired by measuring Earth flat for it. So why are you now appealing to a globe model and what...
Or a radius value from the center of a presupposed sphere. Beautiful. All right. You said it all.
It will or won't do when you've already got flat Earth measurements that you've completely ignored, you dumbass. This is stupid and completely redundant. It does introduce the idea that there's a debate, though. Notice how now it seems like there's a reason to have a debate. So if I ignore the flat Earth linear distance measurements and the drop over those horizontal linear distance measurements to describe curve width and the lack thereof, I can then juxtapose it with a globe model. Now, the globe model also abides by the exact same axiomatic horizontal linear distance measurement principles in their globe Earth mathematics. For example, 1.22 times the square root of the observer's height in feet in globe Earth maths gives you a distance to a geometric horizon in linear miles. When you measure your Earth flat for your height, parallel and perpendicular. So you've got to have parallel and perpendicular axioms hold true for altitude measurements to start your model mathematics. Why? Well, we don't need to. As soon as you start using these maths, you'll use flat Earth measurements with them, like distance and altitude. So this is stupid. We don't need to introduce this model when all the measurements that this model also will use are also flat. So this is stupid.
So here we go to the
3 kilometers. The surface of the Earth should...
Morning, whoever that was.
...curve downward by approximately 2,927 meters. That's
2,927 meters is a drop in the vertical with respect to a horizontal linear distance measurement. So this assertion also suggests that we should have an Earth curve, that's hills if you're going to measure Earth, curving, with a drop value in the vertical with respect to the horizontal. So even when this FLIRF offers up a false dichotomy that isn't necessary, with a globe model based on flat Earth measurements, he still ascribes distance horizontal and drop vertical. So you need axioms of horizontality and flat Earth distance to hold true to assert how this globe model that uses flat Earth measurements doesn't work. All good if you ignore all the flat Earth measurements being used, eh? I won't be doing that. I'll be calling idiots on the internet like this chick, when she also fails miserably to recognise the principle of measuring Earth in miles or kilometres.
That's nearly 9,604 feet of missing curve.
Missing curve? You think that the idea of having a curve is based on the principle given to you by Earth curve mathematics that relies on flat Earth measurements? That's stupid. Obviously not been keeping up to date with the flat Earth debate.
Almost 3 kilometers of Earth that should be bending away beneath...
It's a linear distance in the vertical when he describes how much drop there should be in kilometres. Linear vertical drop, yeah, you'll need that described with respect to the horizontal linear distances. that Earth's measured flat with that you've completely ignored?
That canal. And yet, the water in the Suez Canal sits at a constant level from one end to the other. No pumping required. No locks to manage elevation. No engineering.
Elevation, as in no locks to manage the deviation from the horizontal linear distance in the vertical. That sort of elevation. Described.
So where do you get your level from to have the drop from? That would be a mean sea level, right? That's how we get all our height measurements. So if there's no drop from the vertical and the horizontal from that axiom of sea level, there would be no curving water. Okay, well, that makes sense to me.
From sea level, perpendicular to a plane, axiomatically requiring Earth to be flat. That sort of missing...
Ryan, did you say something?
So yeah, of course it makes perfect sense because it's the truth.
Yeah, no, but we're going to get to the point where we add the sphericity next on a global scale above the Earth.
Drop in the vertical with respect to horizontal flat Earth measurements.
Size.
Yeah, you notice how flat earthers introduced this idea that we need to be arguing about how little drop there is when the drop would require Earth be measured flat to assert whether it's there or not, and simultaneously ignore the flat Earth measurement you've used to get you there to say it's wrong. Crazy shite, as far as I'm concerned. Nonsensical gibberish that requires flat Earth measurements. So who cares? We've got flat Earth measurements. Distance.
Yeah.
Solution for the curve.
Yeah.
Oh no, he ran out of music. Let's put
Sorry, is that your criticism? He ran out of music. He's got horizontal distances.
some actual numbers to this.
What, like horizontal distance measurements? We've already had them. Put them to it. We've got them already. You've whistled past them. You're saying now we've got the flat Earth linear distance measurements.
Did he not give you a height and feet over distance for your spheroid? He already did it. Now she's going to reconflate numbers. All right, you ready?
And the suggestion that there should or shouldn't be vertical deviation with respect to flat Earth distance measurements, we should now introduce them. We've already got the numbers. Earth's already been decided in terms of its measurement and how flat it is.
We're going to go with these arc measurements that they measure to the presupposed center of the sphere to the stars with reciprocating zenith angles, which don't exist in reality. This is all in that sphere math. So there is actually no physical drop in the level. It's just, it's in their minds. Literally, the globe only exists inside of her head. And you can see it by the look on her face. Because there is no actual linear distance to compare to this. It's a presupposed distance to the center of this presupposed sphere that they think they're on. And it goes off in angles from that point to each one of the longitude and latitude lines. Or I think it's longitude lines. I think they have it coming out of all points at the sphere. Yeah. But we're in imagination land now.
For horizontal distance, what numbers do you think we need now?
Hey, super.
Over the full length of the Suez Canal, which is...
That would be a horizontal linear flat Earth measured distance. Yeah. So we've got a flat Earth measured distance. Gotcha.
Is 193 kilometers.
Yeah.
That would be a flat Earth linear distance. Yeah, gotcha. So far, everybody clear that we've measured Earth flat with a current position where we're at in the description? Everyone clear?
No.
There's right.
So
No.
distance curves, does it?
Yes.
How much does it curve?
A lot.
That's not a value.
There's your answer. Rob doesn't know what he's talking about. It curves a lot.
Either you don't have values either.
No, horizontal distance measurement with drop in the vertical requires the distance be horizontal. You're just an idiot. You're saying no.
Can you show us?
No. You show me how much it deviates, and then we'll describe.
No, you making the claim. You're making the claim.
I'm responding to a video. She's making the claim. I'm tearing a new asshole for her stupidity. She's got horizontal linear distances. She showed them.
You don't tear assholes.
This bitch is getting a new asshole teared. She's using horizontal linear distances. Her, not me. Dumbass.
I actually wrote something down from the show yesterday. I didn't get a chance to talk.
You said miles do curve. I asked how much they curve. You said a lot. I said that wasn't an answer. And I now put it to you that to describe deviation in the vertical, you'd need horizontal linear distances to describe it with. If there's curve of Earth, we've surveyed it. with horizontal linear distance in miles that cannot bend?
They can drop.
Good,
here
probably
and there,
sorted
they
that out.
can rise.
The tangent drop.
A tangent drop? Oh, as in a horizontal plane of reference that you assume has a 3959 radial value ball dangling below a plane that is being measured, and the ball is not. The drop being with respect to the horizontality on a mile ascribed to a plane you think is tangential to a ball.
Joe, you don't know who Nathan is? Or are you talking about Rob? Which one are you talking about? This is Nathan Oakley. He has a show called Flat Earth Debate. And the other guy's Rob Noxious. He's just a troll. Yeah. But off we go.
You're not measuring, you're assuming. Well, that seems stupid. Where did we get the 3959 radial value for this ball dangling below a plane that's got the miles ascribed to it? Oh, we'd need to measure a flat Earth for that assumption too. But this is now begging the question fallacy by this bint. You're assuming that there's a dangling ball below a plane that you're measuring. Why would you assume that?
No. Oh, you're so good at twisting people's words.
Should we hear her say it again? Because, unfortunately for you, my love, apparently I'm twisting your words about a tangential plane. We'll just hear you say it again so we're unequivocally clear that I haven't twisted anything.
Put some actual numbers to this. Over the full length.
Doesn't matter
of
how
the
many
Suez-
times you
Oh, sorry,
say
does it not matter?
Yeah.
Do we not want to hear the
Yeah.
words that you said are twisted? Did you just not, you scared of a repeating?
They got a rumpus. So when they get caught out, you know. She didn't say that, but yet she did.
So we know that you're a liar and I haven't twisted
I'm
the
not
damn thing.
scared of anything you can present. Everything you can present can be easily defeated. You're not tough, Nathan. You're not good at this.
Sorry, she's got horizontal distance measurements.
No, she doesn't.
Oh, she doesn't?
Go ahead. Let's go play it. Let's listen to it. Come on, play it.
She's about to describe the drop with respect to a horizontal plane of reference. You say no?
You guys,
She's not.
you guys speak in like these goofy ass words. You don't even know what they mean. Just go ahead and play.
Shut up, you stupid retard.
So you know what a tangent line is, right? I mean, it's definitely a horizontal plane that they can reference their star charts with. That's what they try to do. I know. All right, here we go.
You're winning the
Which is-
argument, not the
You
room.
measured
193 kilometers. The tangent.
Sorry, did I just hear her just say?
Ryan, are you saying something?
No, I wasn't.
No, I think that had to be Rob. He's trying to rumpus again. Okay, all right. I thought you were saying something.
Tangent and kilometers. I'm pretty sure I just heard exactly the same thing again. Was I mistaken? No, definitely not. Tangent, kilometers, linear distance. And now she'll go on to talk about the drop. There it was. Shocking. So I didn't misrepresent her in any way whatsoever. The drop will be with respect to a tangential plane of reference that's straight. There's no curve in a tangential plane. Now, I'm just going to take Rob off mute so he can apologise for how wrong he was. You were wrong, you stupid retard. Yes, she's describing linear distances on a tangential plane. That's flat. They're not bending. It's a tangential plane, according to her.
Can I reply, Nathan?
You can say,
You
I'm
allow
sorry, I
such
was
an
wrong.
argument
You can say, I'm
using the
sorry, I
room.
was wrong. This stupid bitch is absolutely using an assumption of a ball below a plane. The plane will have a horizontal linear distance ascribed to it that you said was bending. You're just wrong.
I'm sorry, I took the measurements.
Yeah, that's right. Earth's measured flat in the horizontal linear distance
You're winning
variety.
the argument, not the room.
Sure, Nathan.
That's
You
my-
keep spitting that mantra. One day someone will believe it. You're going to be big on YouTube about it.
Shut up, you stupid retard. You think you're going to start telling me how I'm wrong? We're critiquing this bint. You're suggesting we've got a horizontal plane that you said bent. Dumbass, that's why you've been removed from the discussion. You had nothing to offer. You apologised and then started telling me how wrong I was again, so I've removed you from the discussion for being a wanker.
I got a question for you, Ryan. You ever seen a horizontal plane bend?
No,
even drop? No.
not without a noticeable, obviously, morphism. I mean,
Yeah.
the reflection of the water, you know that.
All right, let's get back to it. and horizons aren't physical. That's their problem. So, all right.
Is about 2.9 kilometers.
Sorry, bendy kilometres? No, those are the linear variety, like all kilometres. Yeah, just so we're clear. You had a little white knight come along called Rob Noxious. That's somebody else who wants to interrupt. Go ahead.
You won the tangent, lost the room.
Like tangent, she's got on screen tangent drop equals 2.9k while the bot starts chat skanking me. No, tangent drop means that it's in the vertical with respect to the horizontal. Linear, that's what tangential means. It's a straight line. It can't be bent or it wouldn't be a tangent. Rob Noxious is just a, what's the word? A stupid fucking retard wanker spewing shite about how wrong she is and projecting that onto me like I've made a claim about, quote, on screen, tangent drop. Yeah, that's with respect to a straight distance called a tangent then. I mean, there's no ball dangling below this plane that we measure with linear distances. We've just got linear distances measured with respect to Earth's surface. She's now invented this tangent. Why? Why have we suddenly got a ball dangling below a plane? Because she's just plucked it out of her arse. That's why. Her, not me.
If you draw a perfectly straight line tangent, which is...
Sorry, perfectly straight line. Sorry, I'm a bit confused. Rob Noxious, a wanker, said he was bending. Sorry, Rob Noxious, this woman's calling you a fucking retard.
Yes, sir. I'm a wanker.
Yeah, you are. You're a wanker. She's calling you a wanker. Did you hear her? Yeah, you're a wanker. Yeah, she said perfectly straight line. You said it bent. You dumb fuck retard.
Give me more, Nathan. Insult me. I'm jacking off right now. Get it going.
Get off my show. Get off my show, you fucking pervert.
Is a flat line. Starting from one...
Flat line? Sorry, again, I'm confused. Was I just told by a complete wanker that it was bending? Yeah, I definitely was. Told that how wrong I was. No, I'm definitely not wrong, am I, love? Yeah, it's straight line. Yeah, for the distance that's linear. Yeah, that's right, not bending in the slightest. I described the value measured off Earth's flat surface that you've now decided is a plane tangential to a ball we're not measuring. That's just decided that it's just going to be there. Any particular reason you've attached a ball to the bottom of a plane, love? I don't seem to be hearing a justification for why there's now a ball dangling below. That we're not measuring.
One entrance of the canal and extended 193 kilometers into space.
Oh, really? Is that what we do when we measure Earth's surface? We extend imaginary...
The Suez Canal extends into space. With arc measurements that they bend in imaginary space-time. Here we go. Let's see
lines from balls that don't exist into space. No, we don't do that, love. When we measure and survey, end quote you earlier, we do that with rise over run with respect to Earth's surface. Nobody's measuring tangent lines into space.
To mean sea level at a 0 point. Okay. Yeah.
Fucking retard. When have you seen any surveyor measuring lines into the space of the sky? There's nobody's doing that. They measure rise over run with linear distances. The run is Earth's surface. It's not going out into space. Did you think that? Did you think the Suez Canal goes out into space on a tangent plane with a dingling ball below it that's not being measured? This is just the stupidest shit I've ever heard.
The Earth's surface at the other end will have dropped 2.93 kilometers.
What, with respect to a horizontal linear distance? No, we'd have measured that with surveying. And we've got surveys of Earth that show that's unequivocally definitely not the case. The reason it's not the case is to have a drop, you first need a horizontal
away
distance.
From that line. And the center arc bulge, which is 0.73 kilometers.
Another linear distance.
If you draw a straight chord line connecting...
Has anybody ever drilled chord lines through Earth's curved surface? With bulges and hills that are described with respect to horizontal linear distances. Oh, no, we've definitely...
It's another one of those imaginary measurements. Oh, God help us.
Measured mountains and hills. Who has drilled chord lines through a hill? Has anybody ever perform this surveying method. It's just me, or is this the ramblings of a deranged bitch? Is it just me? Am I imagining this? Nobody's measuring a fucking chord line, you dumbass.
Okay, so this has been fun. I got to go. It's about that time, but I thought I'd round off with that. It's a nice touch. So these are all imaginary lines.
He's kind of harsh, don't you think?
No,
a little bit harsh. I mean, I get it, but I get frustrated every day. But you know,
you don't, man. These people, they're taught this. These are real things. They're never measured at all. It's only calculated due to that pre-exposed sphere.
I actually do know
That's
that.
where the bulge is. Has anybody ever seen that bulge? It's missing. I'm going to do a milk carton with the imaginary bulge. We see it. Can we measure it? That's their reference. That's where they get their supposed drop from. Anyways, so how's your day been otherwise? Getting ready to go bike riding maybe?
Yeah, probably. I'm sharpening my garden tools right now.
Ooh. What are you cutting?
Not cutting anything. I got this
You're
thing.
getting ready to get the lawn care done, huh?
Well, I got to do a lot of things, but yeah, I have little projects everywhere.
I love those global distances, man.
Good luck for that.
I know.
I mean, I think most of what this stuff is probably marketing to keep the shareholders from finding out that satellites don't exist, that they're hanging from balloons or whatever, however they do it, from airplanes or whatever.
Yeah.
You know, it's just airplanes flying over, and you know.
Well, they can't get a stationary satellite like that, so you have to. They have probably some of them are on weather balloons, and they do launch tons of those, and they tell you that they launch thousands of them. You know, they're like,
and we've seen footage of them grabbing them out of the air and refilling them and then putting them back into space. I mean, or supposed, you know what I mean, back into the air. So
they're not always accurate neither. The ones that they do accurately are actually probably on mountainsides for the most part.
But all these arguments depend on you not understanding what the truth is of some old video that you see on YouTube, right?
Yeah.
You know, it's like some military video where it claims that something is true, but we all know that, not everything we hear on the news is true, right?
Oh yeah. Oh, we did something on that day,
right? Yeah.
This manufacturer. Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Well, that's the thing I think you should probably be teaching people the most, is just teaching them to understand what reality really is. I've been thinking about that lately. It's like I'm watching YouTube videos and I'm thinking to myself, wow, look at all these phony videos. Like, and I get it, like everybody just takes advantage because they assume that we're all smart enough to know the difference between a real one and a fake one. But it's like, it's getting ridiculous. Like we're all like AI videos, they're like so convincing, but you can tell they're phony. But it's so convincing when somebody has a perspective and they're able to put that up there without actually being knowledgeable enough to create the thing on the side. You know what I mean? They use AI to do it. So it's kind of like showing that a lot of stupid stuff has ended up on the internet that shouldn't be there. But people just embrace it and use it as a way to get hits instead of like being real with each other, right?
Yeah. Oh, I want to answer Jeff Gasshead right quick. Yeah, I'll buy Nathan's book when it comes out. I've offered Nathan to come over to promote his book whenever he gets done with it. He actually refutes the satellite claim with the last chapter in his book. Most of those are actually done from ground transmitters, and it was proven.
Yeah, they're suspended on power lines and things all around the country. On high buildings and things. Yeah.
There's one girl who was putting up a transmitter in England, and she lost signal, so she I think she redid the receiver, and she got 150-mile transmission from one to the other over a mountain, dude, or around the mountain.
Cool.
Yeah. So I mean, 150 miles, there is no curvature. The transmitter actually went 150 miles.
Well, you could tell that just by looking at the surface of the water, couldn't you?
Well, no, these are line of sight transmitters. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
Well, yeah, of course. Well, yeah, of course. Those are done with lines, right? Exactly. And there might be some refraction patterns for when there's things in the atmosphere that get in the way or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, well, that's more
Right,
like
but-
diffraction, actually, if you want to know what.
Well, no, I'm just saying radio waves get affected by things in the air too, right? So when there's lots of moisture in the air, it blocks
Yeah.
the radio signal or whatever, or
Yeah,
maybe
it's
it makes it stronger. I don't know. Yeah. But I'm
Refraction
saying
and
like,
redirect.
those things can be adjusted by the telecommunications equipment, right? They just they can just adjust out of it and make sure it's strong.
You can get that with FM and AM broadcast too, because the hotter the colder, the more dense the air is. So
yeah, but
it'll
aren't
slow
radio
down.
signals all using ground?
Yeah.
So it's like a field electricity type of deal.
Yeah. All right, I'm going to go to the library. I'm going to get dressed and go collect me a trademark paperwork that I need to fill out, and hopefully it all goes well, and I can just pay a fee to the federal government and get. But I mean, their fees look like they're probably about the same. But I'm going to get it done one way or another. So.
Okay. Right.
Yes, I am the guy who used to be on Flat Soy's panel. and Ryan was too, weren't you, Ryan?
Who, me?
Yeah.
Still go on there.
Yeah. If he would do panels and do Flat Earth again, I'd go on more regularly. But I do go on his channel every once in a while now. And
well, I don't think he doesn't do it. I just think, it doesn't come up in whatever he's interested in right now. He's doing a missionary thing. I get it. Some people are into that. I'm not necessarily into it because, closed ears are kind of like hard to get to hear, right? But
yeah, well, he's worried, I think, more about the Islamic invasion that's happening on our earth right now. You notice that is a happening thing.
I've seen it, but I mean, like, is that really what's really happening, or is that something that's being broadcast out and put on your mind, right? Because we're seeing all this stuff on. I mean, all these triggers that we're using to say that this is true and this is not true. It's pretty much like what, just television, right? And can you trust any of that? No.
Not necessarily, but it's not just television. I mean, there are people like even Vicky's and PJ.
No, I get that.
The temples are like they're everywhere now.
But people are affected by something they're seeing on television, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Or in the media, right? And can we trust the media? No. It's been lying to us for how many years? Yeah, let's say.
Well, we just did a video on the Gulf War and their coverage at Fox News Network of it, and it was all made in a studio, like literally. And I mean, people bought it as real.
I mean, it's easier, right, to just put all the information into the AI and let it do it, right?
Oh yeah.
Rather than having to go out and film shit, I get that, but saves
when
money.
you're doing studio work and you're claiming that you're actually in Iraq covering the war,
but you're not. Yeah, you're in front of a green screen just for faking it. Yeah.
Well, they didn't have a green screen even in this stuff, dude. It was like done in a studio room with blue walls painted behind it and fake shrubbery.
Right. Well, whatever. It was deceivingly done. Right? That's what I meant.
Yeah. Well, I guess they can't afford the budget of a green screen. I guess Fox back in the late 90s couldn't do that kind of stuff.
Well, whatever. They didn't have green screens and it was blue, whatever, however it worked. I'm just saying the technology. But you know what makes me wonder is, like, now that we know that AI can do this, and we've accepted it in our minds, is it really true that that's what's happening, right? Mm-hmm. Or is this just, you see what I'm saying? How do we know that the actual physical thing that we claim is causing it is actually the thing doing it? Like, I think that's something that you have to analyze in reality, right? You have to analyze what is real, what is physical, and what can we prove and what can't we? And we need to understand what that is so that we can argue based on reality, right? Like when you get in an argument with somebody about up, down, left, right, in, out, whatever, 3 dimensions, and then they're trying to tell you that there's some kind of tangent. Yeah, right. It's like, how do you overcome that without causing a big argument or people getting angry? I don't know. I don't know how to do that because it doesn't make any logical sense to me. Linear means a line. A line is flat.
Well, they were bending the line with a tangent. That's what they're doing.
But it's ridiculous when they have to use that argument. But sometimes it's hard for me to think of that in an argument or in a situation where somebody uses that as an argument and saying that I'm crazy. I'll be like, well, but wait a minute, that doesn't make any sense. Like it's literally flat Earth.
Yeah. Nathan's making a point that it's already been measured. They're trying to bend it already measured line.
It's redundantly done over and over and over with nowadays. Even though they're just using GPS to do it, they're still using things that float in the air, that fly over the surface, and they take pictures all the time, and they're constantly updating it. They don't do it in every place because there's a place right next to my house that they haven't updated in months, but there's other places in the neighborhood where it is updated. So they obviously do update stuff. But how they do it and how it all works, I don't know. I'm assuming it's just all done with pictures.
Google Earth, they take high altitude photographs and
yes, Exactly. And then they zoom in on it, right?
Yeah, that's it, man.
And
And
then
then they
put
have
that,
people go through
and
your
they put that
neighborhood with
information
cars
into
and
the
take
computer,
pictures.
and it digitizes it and turns it into this big picture that you can draw up and pull up on your phone. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm gonna get out of here.
Trilateration.
You
Yeah,
ready?
not triangulation, but trilateration.
Say good night to everybody.
Good night.
Try
Good
it.
day. Good night.
You have
Good
linear
night.
measurements that they try to take the tangent points and take up it off the surface to the reciprocating zenith angles they get from the presupposed center of the Earth, which doesn't exactly work out.
That's why I always say that there is no debate, because if that's true, then why would we even accept any argument beyond that? Because it's obviously redundant, and like that's what I like about him is that he does
hold them
kind
to it, dude. You got to hold them to the actual measurements. Yeah,
He calls people retards because like what else do you call it? You must have a suspended learning ability if you really think that a linear measurement can suddenly be curved, and then you're going to use that argument when you're using a linear argument. It doesn't make any logical sense. One, 6 and 1 don't make half a dozen of the other necessarily. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, it doesn't. All right. Well, let's get out of here, dude. I got to get busy. All right. And thanks for indulging me for a few minutes. I just got to point out that it is measured that way to start with, and they're converting the measurements into whatever they want to.
It's a really good argument that I think I might angle at my father, but we'll see if that even gets anywhere.
Yeah, but a lot of people can't really wrap their head around how they do this. It's kind of hard.
Yeah, but now that I have some more information, some more fuel, I can go and look into it and find that a way, because I know my father better. Then I'll know. I think I know what will convince him if I just show him that evidence. He can't argue with it, right? You can't argue with the truth, right? Once it hits you in the face. Yeah. So I think that if I can figure out a way to show him that, it might actually convince him that at least he's being lied to about something, right? Something's not right, and he needs to take a better look at it.
Well, I'm going to get political on us, guys, on the way out, so indulge me. We're going to end the Fed one day. I hope so, and the oppression that it brings, especially with its interest rates. That's just the start. Yeah. All right, guys. Adios. Dios. It's dead to Fed. I can play it. No, that's not it.
This method of control.
Let's go to the next one. That's climate change. Yeah. 9/11 truth.
Oh, the truth is, climate is changing, but it's not changing. It's not flooding because there's a valve.
No, and a lot of it has to do with what we do to the earth while we're here. It's nature has its own way of engineering, I think. You know what I'm saying? I can't find the song I want.
You don't have to play a song. You could just end like that. But
I hate ending on a sharp note.
We've uncovered some pretty interesting truths here.
Yeah.
I think it should be like slapping some people in the face and making them go, "Whoa, wait a minute, something's not right here."
Well, there's definitely something not right. I'm not really sure that there's anything right or wrong within that aspect. But people, the world's been manipulated for a long time. You know?
Of course. And of course, I think it should be that way. Otherwise, the world wouldn't work properly, right? But at the same time, it's terrifying to think about it that way.
Yeah, well, it'll revert back to its own nature. God made it that way. He put it in motion a long time ago. So it's just the fact that men like to manipulate it. So
yeah, they like to claim they're God.
Yeah, they do. I think we'll just go with climate change.
I made a change in God's toolbox, and now suddenly I'm better than God. Oh yeah, right.
Are you? Yeah.
Good luck with that.
Believe me, in 30 years, you're going to go back and retool everything. Yeah, we'll do the climate change. Climate change is a good thing, I think. Keeps you on your toes. I've been through climate change. I've been through floods, hurricanes, tornadoes. Those are real climate changes. Can you define what a climate is? Anybody got a definition for it?
It's a controlled environment.
Yeah.
I would say
Right.
that would be the easiest way to explain it. A controlled environment.
Yeah. Oh yeah, but I mean, how about when you can manipulate? When you can outside its purview.
That's the description of a controlled environment, isn't it? Where
Yeah,
you can manipulate.
So that's not a natural thing. And the climate's not a natural.
No, it's just an idea that you put in someone's head, but that's how you use science. That's what science really is. It's about describing things so that everyone in the world or everyone that has logic can understand it, right? It's like if you want to explain how a magnet works, then you show them the field patterns, right? You show them how it fluctuates around outside the magnet. That's how you make people understand how it works, right? If you didn't show a picture of that, you wouldn't understand it that way, and it would be harder for your mind to grasp it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's the reason why they manipulate those things in your mind, and they try to destroy how you feel about them, and how something as small as, you know, believing in, you know, what up and down is can really change and affect your mind and change how you think.
Oh yeah, I didn't say hi to Captain Caveman. Sorry.
Oh, you better.
No, and Harmon.
Right.
So hey Harmon, hey Captain Caveman. I'm really sorry. I just got spaced out on that. And is there a book that Super's putting out? Oh, you're gonna pre-order. Oh, you're gonna pre-order Nathan's book. Okay, I see, Joe. I wish you could. I don't have a. He's gonna put it. I say he's gonna put it out on Kindle. Is what he said first.
Okay, good. I can get it.
What's that other platform? Apple. Yeah, Apple Books. I have Apple Books now. Believe it. Apple gives you everything automatically when you have an Apple. So.
Oh really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, once you join the service, you get access to it.
Yeah,
that's cool.
All I got to do is click yes on the app. It'll download it. Ding, 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 ding.
Oh,
comes free with it. Yeah. You can find weather forecast for the next 5 years. Well, yeah, I'm pretty sure the Earth is at equilibrium, Joe. Yeah. Even with temperatures and stuff. The sun puts off a certain temperature every day. Depends on how close it is. So you get an average of that, and then you can predict weather with it. You know.
Too bad you couldn't build like a computer model so that you could actually draw those effects into real time and show it like what would happen to a normal physics situation if that were true. You know, like if you spun the Earth for real, like what would really happen to it. I think that'd be
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like watching it on the Earth just all go in one direction.
Yeah. Well, you know, I hear time changes the higher you get in elevation. So that's what I heard said the other day. It was
right. Yeah, that has to make a lot of sense, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Well, only if you believe in the center of the ball. But once you throw that out, which is obviously just made up, then why would you even go there, right?
Well, people invoke that all the time, don't they? All right, let's get to the climate change. All right, guys, I'll see you later.
Later.
Bye.
Ice caps are melting and polar bears are drowning.
The global warming alarm is dressed up as science.
You might have to
I would too, Pussy. If you put one out, super, there's a challenge. Write a book.
Prepare to sacrifice.
It's propaganda.
I love to party with the New World Order. What's his name? Kissinger? That's my man. Brzezinski? He got the plan. Rockefeller? Keeping Manhattan vibrant. Are you familiar with some of these names I say? They've been controlling your life all over. I've been studying these creatures who've been working for a long time, lurking in the shadows and they working for the wrong kind. Never in my travels have I come across the more crime-ridden gaggle of jokers. Now this could be the all-time. They love to blast girders, torture sheep and ass herders, steal a couple trillion, man, I'm telling you, they class burglars. No doubt could be cast about and see that as unheard of. They got away with robbery, racketeering, and mass murder. This world is going up in flames, and nobody wants to take the blame. Continue to let these people rule. Your climate's gonna change. Your climate's gonna change. Yeah. The banksters got all your servants on the take. They pose as altruists with all the apple pies they pay. I sympathize with all the folks who aren't aware And all of the sheep that I meet in the street and try to speak sense to who do not care. Cause they watch CNN and Fox and they think that it's all a game. But they don't understand that's Pentagon run. Their climate's gonna change. This world is going up in flames. And nobody wants to take the blame. If you continue to help perpetuate this game, I promise you, your climate's gonna change. You comfortable? Your climate's gonna change. Ready for your carbon credits? Obamanoids?
You can't say that CO2 will drive climate. It certainly never did in the past.
They've just been told lies. That's what it comes down to.
I've been analyzing this, they keep spraying in the air. People walking around in a daze unaware. There's nothing left in their memories to compare. The deep blue azure skies that used to be there. Look up, and you'll see what I say. The hideous plans to alter your DNA. You were just a slave, let's get that out the way. But that all can stop if you cease to obey. If you believe that you can slip right through the cracks, homie, you just haven't been examining the facts. I know you think it's cool to sit back and relax. Now your breath they poison, soon your breath they'll tax. American soldiers are training to take you under as they guard the very heroin that's got them hooked in record numbers. The machine is infallible, it never blunders. CIA #1 smack dealer if you ever wondered. Ask my homie Gemini. Senor Ball. You better school him. 9/11 was an inside job. 9/11 was an inside job. 9/11 was an inside job. 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 Inside This world is going up in flames, and nobody wants to take the blame. Continue to let these people rule, and I promise you, your climate's gonna change. Your climate's gonna change.
We are in process of developing a whole series of techniques which will enable the controlling oligarchy have always existed and presumably always will exist to get people actually to love their services. This is seems to me the ultimate in
That's right, yo.
revolution.